Hi guys, welcome back to my live stream. Great to have you here with me. If you are indeed here, obviously everyone's hopefully in a fantastic mood because of last night's England result. If you've been hiding under a rock, England won. I had to be very careful with my voice because I knew I was talking for 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever it is today. So when I was screaming at the end, I was getting a bit worried. So I've got my water with me. I'll take a break and we'll see how this goes. But hopefully everyone's grabbed a bite to eat, ready, and hopefully I can help you answer any questions you have, anything to do with promotional marketing. My name is Neil Mandel. My company is Epic Activation, and I've got 15 years in the promotional marketing industry. My business, actually, we develop microsites and do the digital builds, but it's expanded over recent years into strategy, plugging in partners for handling and fulfillment, prize sourcing, picking prizes, legal terms and conditions. So we run from start to finish promotional campaigns. And we've got a few out there live at the moment, and they're going brilliantly for some big brand names. So, and what often happens is I get lots of information and questions from people, and they're very similar, which is fine and great. And, you know, if you don't know the answers, then it's great to talk to someone who does know the answers. And I've got a lot of input, and that's just why I'm doing these sessions, to share them with you. So I'm very much looking forward to how the sessions go. This is my third one. We've talked about registration processes in the past and unique codes and what data to collect and marketing questions. And if you haven't seen those, then I'm sure you can find them on YouTube, on my page, and also somewhere, I'm sure, within this LinkedIn page. If you're looking at that, then you will find it there. If you'd like to leave comments or say hello, that would be wonderful. Technology is sometimes challenging, so you don't really know what's going on. It tells me I'm live. I don't really know who is out there. This is actually my first event, as opposed to just streaming live on LinkedIn and YouTube. So attendees, guests, just playing around and seeing how it goes, really. So feel free to say hello, comment, do anything you want, really. Just if you're out there, just a thumbs up, whatever you want to do would be nice. I have a LinkedIn here. I have my portal here where I can hopefully see the comments and answer them. But if you can't see those, you can also just email me. This is where I play with the technology, at Neil@Epic Activation. And I've also got my email so I can see that. So if you want to contribute, if you want to join in, that will be fantastic. If you have any questions at all. So as I said, I've been running promotional campaigns for over 15 years, mainly in the shopper marketing sector. So an example of that is a pack on shelf that has a promotion. The consumer would say, oh, I fancy that prize, and goes to buy the pack. Then they go to a microsite and find out if they've won a prize, enter their details, and through various mechanisms, they can find out if they have won a prize or not. And that is what we do. We build the mechanisms. We help brands and agencies sort of put the campaign together, bring all the silos together so you haven't got sort of different journeys and different elements, because there's obviously lots of different things like prize sourcing, and if you've got holidays to source, we can sort of manage all that for you. But it's picking the prizes and the right amount of quantity of prizes. So that's what we're going to actually talk about today. It happens to be my favorite topic of the lot, the prizes and the mechanics, because I can go on and on about that. I'll try not to. I'll try and answer questions that are more relevant to you if you want to share them. It's not always shopper, sort of FMCG sector. It could be other sectors like stationery, automobile sector, where there's anything to do with loyalty. It could be staff incentive schemes. It could be a loyalty platform for a longer campaign over 10 months where you collect tokens and then you can redeem them against vouchers while you're also running prize draws and keeping the campaign sort of quite lively. So that's what we focus on. So the format of these streams, if you haven't seen them, is I'm just going to talk, share my knowledge with you, and see what you think. And as I say, if there's any questions you have, please feel brave. If you're thinking about it, someone else probably is as well. Just think of me. I'm nervous enough doing these, but I've decided to do it. A few in, and it's getting easier. So even a thumbs up is nice if you don't have a question. So today, as I mentioned, I'm talking about prize mechanics. So what are we talking about with that? Well, we've talked about registration in the past, so the details that people give to enter a competition. And it's the moment they hit the submit button with a valid form filled in, whether it's got the unique codes on there or not, or other security questions. If you want to ask questions about that, please feel free to do so, but we covered that in the last session. It's the point at which someone submits a valid entry. What then happens? Well, that's where you tell people, potentially, if they've won a prize. You could potentially play a game, which we're not going to cover in this section. That's my favorite session, although I think I just said that about this session. They're all my favorite sessions. Anyway, we're going to talk about gamification another time. We're very big on gamification at Epic. But actually, what happens when you click on a form to fill in? So there's various different ideas, two main mechanics. One is winning moment mechanic, often referred to as instant win. And the other is a prize draw. So I'm going to explain the two to you. So a winning moment campaign or an instant win. The reason I use winning moment is because instant win has a few more legal barriers to it. I do understand it, but obviously you've got to work out exactly at what point it's an instant win. So if you announce an instant win promotion, you pretty much have to tell someone if they have won very quickly with very little consumer data entered, reduced marketing questions. You can't say find out instantly if you've won and then you go off on a tangent and ask people to do 3, 4, 5 different things. Legally, you might have a slight issue and the wording might need to change. So if you're ever running an instant win promotion and that's the sort of main headline, then just be careful on that wording and the point and the journey to the point of announcing the person has won a prize or not. But so I like to call it winning moment, and that's probably more technical, purely because that's where the excitement is, and in the sense of how they run. So an instant win promotion basically means you set the amount of prizes there are randomly, usually within the length of the campaign. And they randomly come in, which make it legal because you're not saying, oh, we're placing all the wins here and fudging it. And they might all be randomized at a certain moment. So you might get June the 5th at 10:30 a.m. If that's the random moment for the next prize, and then you can have various different prizes, the first person to play at 10:30 or after 10:30 will win that prize. Simple as that. So you might have random winning moments. You might have 5 a day, 10 a day, 10 an hour, 100 a month, 200, 1,000 over the whole campaign. They can usually be set in the system that you use. And obviously you can do that with our system. You've got that flexibility to be random, but offer prizes within certain time and date frames. So you might want to say 100 prizes a day, 100 holidays a day or something, and you can guarantee that that will be won by having the winning moment. Now that's actually an open winning moment, which means it's open until the next person plays actually wins. So you're guaranteeing that that person will win a prize. So it may have been 10:30, but actually it's 11 o'clock before the next person plays, and they would then be the winner. So that's great from that point of view for a winning moment. So the advantage of a winning moment is it's flexible. So as I said, you can have any kind of prize pool, any waiting, any tiers, and whatever you do, as long as it's clear in the terms and conditions, then there's not a problem. If you're running a terrible promotion and you've got one prize a month and it's a £10 widget, that's pretty poor. But if that's what your promotion is and you clearly state that in the terms and conditions, then you've covered yourself. Just by the way, don't ever run a promotion with one £10 widget a month. There's just no point. But I think you knew that anyway. So make sure you're covered in your T's and C's for that. Whatever the mechanic is great, as long as you're clear. So you've then got, that's open winning moments. You've then got closed winning moments. Now this sort of leads on to a few other topics, if I'm honest. A closed winning moment is the same as the open winning moment in the sense that it picks a moment in time. So it's 10:30, but the winning moment might close at 10:31 or 10:35 or 10:30 and 20 seconds. If no one plays within that time, then the prize is lost or hasn't been claimed. Now you're probably asking why that happens. Well, there's various reasons. You might want to offer huge headline prizes. So you might want to offer, and this is an example I always use, you may want to offer 10 Ferraris in your promotion. Win one of 10 Ferraris. How fantastic is that as a headline? Now you've got to be careful that you don't make the odds impossible that no one wins and everyone said, well, no one was ever going to win. So that's something to be aware of. But by having a winning moment and a closed winning moment, those prizes could actually be won. If you have 10 winning moments and every single one is clicked on, then people will actually win one of 10 Ferraris. And in theory, you could give away 10 Ferraris. Now, marketeers and financial departments of brands are probably not happy with that because they're going to freak out. They've got to find budget. But there's ways around that. And that's called sort of fixed fee insurance. Not sure whether you're actually supposed to call it insurance, but fixed fee management, which is quite prevalent in this industry. So what fixed fee is, it's basically like an insurance. It helps in a couple of main ways when you're doing this. And that's basically, if you are unsure on the amount of prizes you're actually going to give away, then you might want to cover yourself financially for that. And we can have questions on things like that. Just seeing if there are any comments. No comments yet. That's absolutely no problem. I hope you're all just glued to your screens, fascinated by what I'm saying. So fixed fee. There are two main benefits. As I said, if the prizes to be won are unknown, then you might want to take out this. And that basically could be if it's a loyalty scheme, you don't know how much people are going to play, how much people are going to redeem, how many points they're going to get. And if they collect 50 points to go and get the Bluetooth speakers, which is another example I always use, you don't know if you need to buy 5,000 Bluetooth speakers or 50,000 Bluetooth speakers. You can take a hunch, but ultimately you're going to be out of pocket if the promotion is over redeemed and does incredibly well. So you can take out cover, risk management. I'll probably just call it insurance for this purpose. You can take out the insurance that you would pay a fee, which will cover you for X amount, and it might be under redeemed, and then it's cost you a few £1,000s, nothing too much, or a few £100 extra, but you've slept well at night, because if it was over redeemed, it could have cost you £50,000 extra, which is going to be a catastrophe for you and the brand. So that's one reason to do it. And the other reason is for fixed fee is if you want big headlines. So if you want to say win one of 10 Ferraris, they have to be available to be won. You can't cheat, you can't lie, they have to be there. So, but it might be a closed moment, for example, a closed winning moment, which basically means you might open it for 10 seconds, you might open it for a minute, depending on how much you pay the fixed fee company. They've got to work out the odds and everyone's got to agree to it. And they basically would say, right, you can have the moment open for 30 seconds and people may win. And then the insurance company would have to cough up and pay for that. or they might close and no one wins. But as I said, you might want to watch out for not giving away any prizes. So, okay, I'm being extreme with Ferraris here, but you might want to guarantee one Ferrari. So if none are won, you would then offer one in a prize draw, and I'll come to prize draws afterwards. And if it's all too much for you thinking of Ferraris, think of iPads. So if you're giving away 10 iPads and none are won, you might then say in your terms and conditions, if none are won, we'll run a prize draw so someone is guaranteed to win at least one. You aren't guaranteeing 10 wins of an iPad or Ferrari. Let's be clear. And also things like if you do bring in gamification, like a digital scratch card, for example, that's really interesting, because if you've got a 9-tile scratch card, and I'm going off on a tangent here, so I'm happy to explain this. Send me an email if you want to know more at a later date, or you want me to explain it to you in more detail. But if you've got a scratch card, digital scratch card with, say, 9 tiles, that's actually, if you need to match 3, and there are 3 winning Ferrari icons or Bluetooth speaker icons, that's actually a 1 in 84 chance of winning. So if you think about how many people might play, if every single scratch card can win, you are probably going to have 1 in 84 winning. So, but not necessarily. So there's a bit of unknown, and therefore with that, there's a bit of skill. Where it's unclear, obviously, is if you have a scratch card where any tile you click on, say it's a win, and I'm going into gamification here, but say it's a win and you want to give someone the prize, any tile they click on can win. So if you're looking to guarantee that, then you don't need a fixed fee solution, and you can happily just give away those prizes. But we'll talk about that in gamification at some point down the line. So I hope everyone's enjoying what they are listening to. I am just clicking through. It appears, yes, it appears we are live, so that's good to know. So I've just clicked a few buttons and lost a few things on the page. So serves me right for clicking. There you go. Back to that page. Okay. So that's open winning moments, and that's explaining the closed winning moments. So that is how you run a winning moment campaign. As I said, you can vary the prize numbers however you like, basically. So there's a lot of benefit from that. So as I said, the benefits for me include it's like surprise and delight. I actually really prefer instant win. So I'll talk about prize draws in a minute, but if you're on there and you tell someone, hey, you've won, then that's fantastic. The good thing is they then become brand ambassadors, because if they've won a Bluetooth speaker, an iPad, a Ferrari, and on the promotion it says, congratulations, you've won the Bluetooth speaker, there could then be social media sharing options. So you basically can instantly get people sharing the prize win and being brand ambassadors, talking about your brand, which is obviously a great thing on social media. And it might be pre-filled with, go buy a pack, you can win a prize like myself, and people click share. And if it's a great prize and there's lots of them, then even better, and even more reason to win an instant win. And everyone likes to win prizes instantly. It's like click, click, click. You're on your mobile, got a few seconds, fill in a few details. Oh my God, I've won a prize. How amazing is that? So, and that person will love your brand forever, because it'll be in their head. They won something. I never win anything, people will say. So that's great. So social sharing is good. Also, if you win an instant prize, you can sort of manage the whole fulfillment process pretty quickly. Prizes go off to fulfillment houses once that's all been managed and approved. And also, if there are things like e-vouchers, you can get email notifications. So if someone wins a prize, we usually would send out an email saying, congratulations, you've won a prize, just so they've got a record of it, so they don't think, oh, it's a scam, someone told me that and I've got no idea who to contact. So emails directly to winners is fantastic. Also to help with brand recognition, memory structures. Again, all this information is positive and people want to hear it because they've won a prize. So you're not bombarding them with negative sort of messaging and sales pitches, etc., etc. So the email notifications, as I mentioned, if you've got e-vouchers, things like Love to Shop vouchers are very popular. Then you can have the codes, and their codes within the email. So that's fantastic. They instantly win. They get a code and they can go and use it straight away. So you're just cutting out all the difficult steps and hurdles that some campaigns might have, and you're rewarding them with a prize within minutes of entry. So that's really, really good. So as I say, another thing for probably not such a huge thing, but something else to consider, depending on if you're handing the prizes out yourself, if you're collecting that data. We often do a weekly data dump of winners of certain prizes and send that out to whoever's fulfilling the prizes, and sometimes it's the brand directly. They then go in and send out the prizes. If you are doing it as an instant win and you've got 50 prizes a week for 3 months, then that at least spreads out the mass load of sending everything out. I mean, some companies may just want to blitz it in 2 days at the end, but it gives you the option to say, actually, let's just start getting the prizes out quickly. In the legal terms and conditions, you probably have, in most cases, you will receive your prize within 28 days. And that kind of covers the data collection, the point where it could be validated, the point where it could then be sent to a fulfillment house, a few days for them to process that and send that out. So often you have something like 28 days to receive your prizes. So there's another little tip from me for that. So any questions up till now? Am I missing something? Is this all making sense? I hope so. We've now talked, that's pretty much it with instant win. I'll probably come back to it with an example in a little bit. Prize draws, very popular, very good. Collect data, run a prize draw, run a weekly prize draw, run a monthly prize draw, or run a prize draw at the end of the promotion. Pull out 50 winners, let them all know they've won a prize. The positives I like from that are people may kind of not been in touch with you for a few days or weeks, and the promotion's ended a month later, and then suddenly they get an email. And actually you could send them an email before that just saying, hey, don't forget, we got the prize draw tomorrow. So that's quite nice. Suddenly, again, brand memory structures. Again, I love that sort of phrase, just putting thoughts in people's mind about the brand. That all counts. It's a crazy world. We're all on our phones, so much information coming in and out, and as long as it's relevant, no one minds seeing a message appear or an email come in where you may benefit. So if it's like, don't forget, you may win a prize, the prize draw for the holiday is tomorrow, good luck kind of message. So it's also actually, when you have people on the site, it's a great way to keep people in with a chance. Obviously, if you've got instant win, you win or lose, and then it's done. But at least it says, oh, never mind, try again. But that actual gameplay is over. If you're running a prize draw, hey, well done, congratulations, you're in the prize draw, good luck. Fingers crossed, they're still in with that chance. For me, I prefer instant win, just because you're doing something then and there that's a bit exciting rather than having to then wait. But there's plenty of reasons why a prize draw is better, which hopefully I'm covering or we can talk about. And it's mainly based on security, because you do have a bit of an issue sometimes with winning moments if you're rewarding someone a prize and then you find out that it's fraudulent and they've tried to play too many times, or they stole some codes from a pack, or whatever the reason is. It doesn't matter so much, because as long as most T's and C's will say, you may be told you've won a prize, but actually if we find it's fraudulent, we can strip it from you. So that's not actually a problem. You might have a bit of bad taste with some people, but then there'll be fraudulent people. So you've got a bit of a balance you've got to weigh it up from that point of view. But the whole, it might be that the instant win has a high level of security, and therefore you can tell people instantly they've won. Obviously, if you've got high value e-vouchers, once you've shared the email and someone's won, then there's a bit of a problem because the horse is bolted. So you've already given them their code. So if you find out afterwards, it's too late. They probably already used their code. So there's reasons for prize draws relating to other areas of the promotion, the structure, the user interface, the data capture that helps make that decision possible. So as I said, so if you don't have unique codes, that's one of the reasons for high value prizes. So of course you can combine instant win and prize draw, which is obviously the best solution in many eyes, and many campaigns do that. So you basically get the benefit of the surprise and delight, hey, I've won, the razzmatazz of winning a prize. And referring to gamification a little bit, and as I said, I'll talk about it on another session, the game can reflect the result of the winning moment. So it's not actually skill based, it's a bit smoke and mirrors. So that's probably a massive sort of tip. It is mainly smoke and mirrors, and again, as long as that's in the terms and conditions, it's a fantastic way to run a promotion. So rather than just having an instant win, hey, you've won, the actual system knows they've won, and then they play some kind of game for excitement, and then they're told they have won. So that's the beauty of gamification. So that's probably the next session I'll be talking about. So you can have a game, you can have a winning moment, and then what you can do is run a prize draw at the end. So this might be for high value prizes. You might say win, and using the same examples, you might say win 51 or 50,000 Bluetooth speakers in our instant win. So they're all won, but the headline is also and win a Ferrari. Now, the Ferrari might be in the prize draw at the end. So if you win or you don't win, you've still got a chance to win a further prize, especially if you don't win. And I hear myself speeding up here because I have this crazy passion about this subject. But anyway, so yeah, if you don't win, it will say, never mind, you haven't won this time. Please buy another pack, try again. And at the moment, you currently have another chance in our prize draw to win the Ferrari. Yay! So all really exciting. Keep it positive, mix it up, have different layers to a promotion. That's always really quite positive and usually works really well. So still with me, guys? Still following? How's your lunch? What time are we on? We're on 1:30. So I don't know how long we'll go on for until I finish and until anyone has asked any questions. Or not. So mop-up draws. That's the next subject. A mop-up draw. What is it? Well, it's kind of an untrendy way of managing the promotion. Basically, a mop-up draw helps the legalities of it. So for any unclaimed prizes, if people are fraudulent or don't fill in their address and they need their address and they don't want to talk to you when you then try and call them up, obviously you have prizes allocated to them and they are then not claiming those prizes. Then you still want to give them away. So what you want to do is run a mop-up draw. So at the end of a promotion, you work out how many prizes have not been claimed, and then you basically run a prize draw out of those people and then let them know, hey, you've won prizes. So it's different from the mechanic is the same. It's a prize draw, but it's called a mop-up draw because what you're doing is mopping up any loose ends, loose prizes that haven't been allocated for whatever reason. Another actual point, one is usually very few. When you're doing a random winning moment, say you've given it a day, and the random moments puts in 60 prizes in that one day, and it will start at midnight and go till 11:59 that night. The winning moments might appear at 11:59, and then the promotion ends. So a winning moment may not actually be played, even if it's an open winning moment, which I was talking before. Most of them will go unless it's a terrible promotion. But actually you may get a few at the end if the winning moments happen to be at the end that are not allocated, and therefore you can put those into a mop-up drawer as well. So I hope that's a good summary of winning moments and prize draws. In summary, if you have like 1,000 prizes and you want to give them all away, you run an open winning moment campaign, maybe over the duration. Obviously, if you want to headline it as 20 prizes a day, you can do that as well with that. If you have several big prizes and lots of small prizes, and you've got high levels of security, unique codes, then again, you can put the big prizes with the small prizes into a winning moment campaign, and then anything left at the end in the mop-up. If you have low security and you're just relying on emails or mobile numbers and you've got big prizes, then it might be an idea to hold those prizes back and keep them for a prize draw. And then with a prize draw, you can draw the winners, validate whether they have been fraudulent and entered 5,000 times, decide if they have or not without contacting them. And if you are disqualifying them, you can then go and pick out some more winners. So you're not actually telling people they've won unless you're fraudulent, which obviously is not a nice message to have, but that's the reality of telling someone they've won before you've done any checks. So that's why you might want to mix it up and bring that prize draw into it and layer it up. And as I say, if you've got big headlines, you want to have something win 1 of 10 Ferraris, then that's possible. The way that is done is probably based on your budget to pay for the insurance and how high risk you want to make the competition. If you want to give away lots of prizes, then obviously the risk is higher. Or you might want to keep it quite tight, but then you can guarantee a Ferrari or an iPad is one. So it's literally picking the different areas of the mechanics to suit security, what you want to do, how you want to be perceived with your customers, so many different factors. So I hope that covers that area. Just checking I have no questions, which is fine. I just don't want to miss any. You don't mind me having a little drink. I think that England match is catching up with me a bit in the voice. So we then come on to what prizes. Obviously, I've been talking extremes. So I've been talking about Ferraris. That'd be nice. I did run a promotion once where actually it was win 1 of 10 Ferraris. That's probably actually where it came from. And that was great. And it had fixed fee insurance attached to it. So just to back up that story. So what prizes? Well, I mean, it's not rocket science, relevant ones, basically. So if it's for an audience of 70 plus, then maybe, I think I mentioned this in my last stream, that actually you probably don't want to give away skydiving holidays. Well, yes, a few people may want to and probably say, well, actually, my mum's 75 and she's done 5 skydives. I get that, but you've got to look at the bigger picture, and I think you get what I mean. Just relevant prizes to the demographics of the audience, basically. I suppose there'd be prizes that people appreciate, that it doesn't have to be high value. I always pick out a Bluetooth speaker. If I suddenly got a little Bluetooth speaker that was 15, 20 quid, if I then had that in the car, or not in the car, wherever, just in the garden for 10 minutes, and it had a branded stamp on it, then the person will remember the brand. And if you have thousands of those, then that can only help. And it's a nice little thing. It might be a USB stick or a memory stick or something that's not overly expensive. So think of something that could be practical. Actually, what I haven't written in my notes, but I've just thought of, is sustainability. That is critical in this day and age. People are talking about sustainability. Brands want to be seen to be sustainable. I've had in the past in various areas. We've had prizes come into warehouses where no one really thought about it, and the packaging was full of foam, and basically the brand didn't want that. Everything had to be stripped out. Ironically, it then cost them loads more money, but ultimately they had to be seen to be sustainable. So consider that and check out all the materials that make up a product, and whether that is important to your brand. Is that your message that you're trying to get across? And any kind of theme, basically. If sustainability is your thing, then that's important. If it's something else, then obviously look at prices and source prices that relate to that. And think, would you be happy with those prices? So that's always a good marker, isn't it? Would you enter that competition? Would you answer those marketing questions to win those type of prizes? I guess with the winning moment, when you're sort of stepping back, seeing the wood from the trees on the prizes, you're also thinking, would that prize? Well, you're thinking, would I want to win that prize? Would I enter and add all the marketing questions to win that prize? And is it worth the effort? And actually, relating to instant win, do the numbers add up? If people do read these small T's and C's, then or the T's and C's, and it says 1 in every 5 million are going to win a £10 Bluetooth speaker, then that's going to put people off. And people will read the T's and C's. I advertised it last time, advertised it again because I love it. Can't see it with a green screen, but Compass News at the back, if you missed it last time, at the back, that they are lists of all competitions out there, the prizes, the mechanisms. That's Comping Kids. That says you've got competitions that are I like this one, effort needed. Can you see that? Yeah, effort needed. So you've got to fill in or write something. So all this gets scrutinized by the Compass News community. And there's obviously, as you probably know, in marketing, there is a huge community of compers. So don't try and fool the audience. They're smart. They can look up everything very quickly. Make sure you've got an attractive prize that's relevant to them. And then you've got enough to play with different layers within instant win and prize draws. Anything else? Cash prizes, well, very unimaginative, but unsurprisingly very popular. We all like cash, but if you're working with someone to try and come up with ideas, then that's not particularly imaginative. But hey, it could be combined with holidays and cash prizes, so mix it up again. Money can't buy prizes, so anything from your brand that you don't open to the public, whether it's a tour, whether it's a free day making the beer or cider or whatever it is, something that could be really interesting, could be very good, and get the head spinning and the audience wanting to buy your product to enter the promotion. So any question? I don't see any questions. That's fine, as I keep saying. If you found anything of interest, I'm going to go with this now. Just play around with the filters on this lovely technology. If you find anything exciting, you want to ask any questions, you don't want to ask here, you don't want to email me, or you see this at a later date, you can go to epicactivation.co.uk/book a call with the hyphens in, and basically book a free discovery workshop where we can basically talk through your objectives, your challenges, what the problems are. Is it because of COVID? There, I mentioned the dreaded C word. Is it because of COVID? People aren't in stores, sales are down. We look at the objectives, we look at what kind of campaigns can work, and therefore what prizes would in proportion be appropriate. I'm just worried I've got a little water and the wind has blown a blind and it's about to knock the water over. It was all going so well. We're just about okay. Anyway, so yes, please book a call. Very simple to do that, and it books it in my diary, your diary, and we just log on and chat. So if you want that, no obligation, no pressure, just me rambling with advice and opinions to help you out if you have any thoughts about an upcoming promotion. Last thing, I guess, is because I have no questions here. The last thing is just talking a bit about a case study that's kind of current. So I can't really talk too much about it, but we're working on a strategy for a brand. And we are literally in the throes of talking about winning moments and prize draws. So that's why I wanted to mention it to you today. It's a lot of toing and froing, working out what can be done. This brand have members who they want to give away more, to make available more prizes, which is absolutely fine. Ideally, if we can connect to the system to understand and validate a membership, a person entering and their membership number through maybe an API, then that's fantastic, because we can then go off and say, is this a valid member? And they would come back and say yes, and then you can add additional prizes to an instant win prize pool. If you can't do that, then you've got to look at other ways around it, and that might be doing some kind of manual process. It might be then running a prize draw, or as I said, it might be saying someone has won, but actually it is subject to being valid as a member of the group, of the brand. And you're in your rightful mind able and should put something on there saying we will be checking, validating the code, so don't muck around basically, because you won't qualify. So again, that's just another scenario of a specific situation and the setup of a brand, and how we then adapt a winning moment prize draw mechanic to enhance prizes for certain people within a members of a brand. So yeah, that's pretty good stuff and a lot of fun at the moment. Very much enjoying that. And the strategy is like problem solving, and there's always ways to do it and work around issues. So that's why I encourage you to book a call if you've got a challenge. Happy to help. So that for me is probably about it. I think 42 minutes with this voice and England winning and me shouting last night. I think I've done pretty well. If you see this afterwards, which is also quite a possibility, please also feel free to make a comment, hopefully positive. I'm going to keep doing these, got lots of information to share, and I have spoken to a few people offline who have said it was really good, there's some good information, and I didn't pay them. So while that keeps happening, I shall keep going. And yeah, please feel free to comment. Have I got any other? Obviously, you can visit the website that's got a bit more information on what we do and how we plug in handling and fulfillment, terms and conditions. So you only need to come to one place. That helps a lot of smaller marketing agencies and actually brands directly. And obviously, if you want to email me, got it wrong. There it is, my email address. And this is kind of what we do. We make marketing campaigns simple to run. We strategize. We run the handling and fulfillment, price sourcing. We can support you and fill in where we need. If you're an agency, we work white labeled and often don't do the creative design, but build it. So we're very flexible in how we work, and certainly advise on best strategies, which is pretty key and important. So that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll hopefully see you soon. And it won't be before England play Italy on Sunday. So come on, England, we can do it, the Three Lions. Wishing our team and our nation success. Thanks again, and speak to you all soon.